Hello YouTubers, this is Alan Williams from Alan Williams Backyard RC, and today we're going to be putting together and reviewing the HobbyPark RC car stand. I got it from Amazon for $15.98. There's a link down below. If you guys are interested in buying it, probably make somebody a good Christmas present if you know somebody that has a hobby of RC cars. Appreciate it if you guys could subscribe. Click the like button, click the bell for notifications if you like these kinds of videos. And the highlights of this car stand is that it's made of aluminum alloy. You can adjust the height. It rotates 360 degrees. It's got a magnetic tray for small screws. It's good for 1/8 scale, 1/10 scale, 1/12 scale cars. All our vehicles are 10th scale cars. So I can't try out an 8th scale or a 12th scale vehicle to show you guys. So we'll get on with opening the box and start putting this thing together and have some fun. Alright, we'll open up the box, we'll lay everything out on the table, and I'll show you guys what we got. Okay, so we have the upper plate and the lower plate. We've got the bag that's got the height adjustment and the rotation adjustment. Got a magnetic strip. Got 2 Allen wrenches. Open this up. And we've got the 2 Allen wrenches, large one and a small one. And we've got a small bag of screws. I highly suggest at this point, when you open this up, you set the screws on the magnetic strip so that they do not roll off the table and that you lose them. Just put them on a magnetic strip just like this. There you go. And that's what everything looks like when it's laid out on the table. I also want to point out, aside from the tools that come with it, you're going to want to keep some medium strength thread locker. I use Loctite blue, but you're definitely going to keep that to keep the threads from backing out, coming loose. If you have RC cars, you should already have this in your kit. So on the bottom plate, you also have a scale, and you can measure in inches, you can measure in millimeters, you can measure your parts, you can measure bolts. You can see that one there is 8 millimeters long. So if you need to order a screw real quick, you don't have to break out calipers, get a tape measure or whatever you use to measure your devices. And just lay your bolt out, and it's hard to see on this one, but you can see that it's 8 millimeters long, 3 millimeters wide. So this is going to be a 3 millimeter by 8 millimeter bolt. So there you go, it's just that simple, and you'll know what you need to order. No special tools. Grab the larger of the 2 hex key wrenches. Put your bolt on the hex key wrench. That'll help you hold it. Run it up through the hole at the bottom of the plate. Grab your height adjuster and screw that in. You don't want to put a thread locker on it at this point. You're just going to run it. It's going to help you line the other hole up. Just gives you kind of an extra hand, so you're not trying to hold 3-4 pieces of equipment together at one time while you're putting it together. So that's all you got to do. Grab the other screw, the other bolt. Grab your little napkin. And at this point, you're going to grab your medium straight thread locker. You're just going to put a small little drop on the threads. It doesn't take a lot. Again, it's medium strength thread locker. It's real good stuff. You're going to need it. You use a lot of it if you have RC cars. Grab the larger of the two hex key wrenches. Put the bolt back on the hex key. And then put the bolt in the other hole. You run this all the way in until it's tight. Not to over tighten it. These are small bolts and this is aluminum. So you don't want to over crank it. Just run it until it's bottoms out. Then you just want to give it a nice little snug. You don't want to over tighten it. Again, like I said, it's aluminum. Now at this point, you want to take the first bolt that you put in, take it back out. Then you're going to want to put some thread locker on it. Again, just a couple drops. It doesn't take much. Then you put that one back in where you got it out from. You want to run it all the way in until it bottoms out. Once it bottoms out, you just want to give it a nice little good snug. And that's it. And then when the thread locker sets up, that'll keep them screws from backing out. All right, now you want to grab the top plate, set it on the middle, take the bigger of the three bolts that are left. The other, I said three, it's four bolts left, but you'll take the bigger ones of the two. It's the only one, the other two are set screws. Put some Loctite on it. Again, just a couple of drops. Put the bolt on the hex key. Helps you steady it, and then just run that one in until it bottoms out and give it a good snug just like you did on the bottom. And then at this point, your car stand is pretty much assembled. I'm done with the thread locker at this point. And I still have my set screws over here. So you can turn this now, and that'll adjust the height and it'll allow you to work on your car. It comes with these set screws right here. At this point, we'll take the smaller Allen wrench. We will not use thread locker on these. If I can get it in here. Right, we'll flip this over on the side and there's a hole here. And we'll just put that in there. We'll start that one, we won't tighten it up. We'll just start it. Just get it in there to where it's almost flush, but not quite. We'll grab another one of these set screws. We'll flip it over and do the other side. Okay, and we'll do it again until it's about flush. Okay, so what that allows you to do is when your car is sitting on here, you can turn it, and then if you're working on it, trying to do it, you don't want it turning while you're working on it. So you'll just tighten these up. not super tight. You'll just snug them up so that it's on the so that it's hitting the threads. That'll allow that not to turn so easily. You don't want to tighten it down too tight because you don't want to ruin. Just snug it up just a little bit. You don't want to tighten it down too much because you don't want to ruin these. You don't want to ruin these threads that are on this piece here. So you definitely don't want to over tighten this. You'll snug it up, and what happens is now it's hard for me to do it. It'll turn a little bit, but it's not hard to turn. And if you don't want it to turn at all, you just tighten them down a little bit more. But you do not want to over tighten these. So at this point, we have these pads that go on here, and you want to take a second and make sure that you get them lined up right before you take the tape off. Okay, pop these holes out. There's cutout holes on here. You want to pop these out. Just set them off to the side. We're going to use these. We're going to use these again in a minute. We'll put them right here. Peel the tape. We'll peel the tape off. And then before you press down, it's contact tape, so before you press down, you just want to make sure it's lined up. And the reason you want it lined up is that if you want to work on the bottom of your car, you can stick a wrench up through there and work on it. You just line it up, press it down, turn it around, do the same thing with the other side. Oh, I took the tape off first. You don't want to do that. That was my mistake. Definitely don't want to take the tape off first. Yeah, you definitely don't want to take the tape off first. Just remember that the guy making the video is an idiot, and it'll stick to your fingers, and not only that, it makes it harder once you wear the tape off. It doesn't stick to the part as well. You want to take a second, make sure they're lined up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but as close as you can get it. And that's going to help your car from sliding around on the chassis. And you want to take this over, flip it over. And I don't want to scratch up my wooden tabletop on this aluminum plate. So we're going to take a second, and then we're just going to take these those rubber pieces that came out of the holes from the previous step, and we're just going to put them on the base. That way when I flip it over and I'm moving it around, it doesn't scratch up my tabletop. There's no real perfect way to do this. Just spread them out among both sides. Okay, so basically once you get the last one installed, all you want to do is just press down on them. It's contact tape, and that's pretty much it. Now when you flip it over, it won't scratch my tabletop. Alright, so we'll turn this around. We'll grab the magnetic strip. There is one set screw left over. I don't know if that was an accident, but we definitely don't need it. We're pretty much done at this point. So we'll just take the set screw, we'll set it off to the side, and the magnetic strip comes with tape. Aluminum magnets do not stick to aluminum, so that's what the tape's for. We'll peel the backing off of it. We'll put it on the side of the tray, not the side with the scale on it, and we'll put that down here. Press down on it, it's contact tape. We'll set the screw off to the side, but you can see that it holds in a small screws real nice, holds small tools real nice, and that's pretty much it. And this is what it looks like, and you can see it's a nice little stand. Alright, so the first vehicle we have to put on the stand is the Traxxas Slash 4x4. And it has the low center of gravity chassis. And it fits on this stand very nicely. And you can see I can turn it around, I can take tires off, I can spin it to the other tire and take tires off. No problem. Spins around real nicely. I can get underneath of it, no problem. It's pretty sturdy. You know, if I don't want it to spin, I can kind of hold it, but so yeah, this makes a nice little stand for showcasing cars on YouTube like we do. It makes it nice if you got to work on them. So I'll show you some other shots here in a second. These Allen wrenches that come with it, you won't need them anymore. You should have Allen wrenches, but if you want to save them, throw them in your toolkit, save them for later. You always can, but you're done with them. You don't need them anymore. All right, we'll change the angle a little bit. We'll show you what it looks like underneath. You can see it's fitting nice and flat. It's nice and snug. I mean, fits this vehicle nicely. If anybody's curious, the number 3 on the car is just simply because I have several of these and I keep track of them. And we're rotated around from the front, and you can see that, you know, that angle, it fits real good on that. Turn it around. So, and then you can adjust the height. Turn it one way to raise it, turn it the other way to lower it. And there's the front angle again. Again, you can see how nicely it holds the vehicle. Okay, this is the Losi Tenacity DB. It's not the Pro version. This is an older vehicle. I don't even think you can get these anymore. You can get the Pro Tenacity DB Pro. And you can see the difference on the chassis. You put it on there. Fits nice, sturdy. Pretty much fits as well as my Traxxas Slash does. And again, I can get to everything. It's sturdy. I can turn it, I can get to the wheels, I can get to, you know, whatever I want. We'll flip the lid up here, get to the top, work on it. Again, this is the original Tenacity DB. They've upgraded it to a Pro version. It doesn't look like this anymore. I don't even think you can get these anymore. I'm not sure. I change the angle a little bit of the camera, show you how it snugs up underneath and how it fits. You can see it's a nice flat hold on it. Turn it around, rear the car. You can see it fits good. Turn it sideways. Raise it up. Show you how it fit up. Hit the camera. You can see what it looks like from the front. Nice sturdy, nice level holding spot. Okay, so the next one is my Traxxas E-Revo. It's 10th scale. It is the heaviest, biggest one I got. You can see it's got the steering servo stick out the bottom. It's got an open center. So we'll see how this fits on here. It's a truggy, so it's a lot bigger. And still stable. So I can turn it around, I can get to it, even though it's a bigger vehicle, I can still get to everything, I can still work on the tires. All fits nice. It's still, like I said, nice and sturdy. Alright, so we'll change the camera angle, but there's a couple things I want to point out. You can see it's a bigger vehicle, so the tires are closer to the ground. So you turn it up higher, get the tires off the ground. Or you can turn it the other way and lower it back down. Spins nice and easy, freely, no big deal, even with the heavier vehicle on it. I mean, it's nice. Of course, you can see all the dirt that's on my vehicle getting on my table, but you know, we'll spin it back around, we'll raise it up off the ground, and you can see all the tires are clear now. Not a problem. I didn't even have to move the vehicle around. So that makes a nice little Traxxas ad, but you can still see that even with the different chassis underneath it, it's holding the vehicle flat, steady. Everything's nice and level. Good contact points on the stand. So this is, like I said, this is the E-Revo 2.0. There's from the front. The steering servos and guards don't get in the way. So that's pretty much that. Pretty good stand. I like it.